This is Jarrod Horak, and in this video, I'm going to analyze the Peter Pan Stakes at Aqueduct on Saturday, May 10th. This is a prep race for the Belmont Stakes, and the top three finishers of the Peter Pan Stakes will have their starting fees waived for the Belmont Stakes if they're Triple Crown nominees. And if you're interested in my full card analysis, you'll find my full cards at therunawayhorse.com on my shop page. I have two full cards planned for Saturday, May 10th. I'm going to be doing a full card at Santa Anita Park. I'm also going to be covering Aqueduct Peter Pan Stakes Day. You can get my full cards individually, or you can purchase them together as part of my Saturday special for $16. Next week, Preakness week, I'm going to be doing Black Eyed Susan Day, the day before the Preakness, so I'll do that full card, plus my annual Preakness Day full card on Saturday, May 17th. And then for Belmont Stakes week in a few weeks, I'm going to be doing multiple full cards at Saratoga, including Belmont Stakes Saturday, June 7th. So go to therunawayhorse.com on my shop page if you're interested in my full card analysis. And now we will look at this Peter Pan Stakes. I'll go through the entrants, and then I will go last to first. And the Peter Pan will be the 11th race at Aqueduct on Saturday, May 10th. Grade 3, $200,000 Peter Pan Stakes, 3-year-olds, a mile and an eighth on the main track. Scheduled post time, 6:46 p.m. Eastern Time. And now we'll meet the field. Vassimo is number 1 for trainer Todd Pletcher. Irad Ortiz Jr. will ride. Number 2, Happily Delusional, and this one will try to get involved from off the pace under Paco Lopez. Number 3 is Surfside Moon. He likes to stalk the pace, and I can see him working out a decent tactical trip in here. Number 4, Hill Road. He likes to run late for trainer Chad Brown. Flavian Pratt is his rider. Number 5 in here is McAfee, and for McAfee, he's a Rick Dutrow trainee, and John Velasquez will ride this one, and he'll probably strike from mid-pack, putting on those blinkers. Number 6, Uncaged, for trainer Todd Pletcher. Now, he added blinkers last time, and he won an optional claiming race at Aqueduct in the mud. Kendrick Carmouche is his rider. Number 7, First Pitch. This is a New York bred horse. He was 50-1 in his last start. That was a maiden special weight New York bred event at Aqueduct at a mile and an eighth, and he upset the field on the front end that day. Number 8, Captain Cook, for trainer Rick Dutrow, your likely favorite. He was 4th as the beaten favorite in the Wood Memorial last time out, and Manny Franco is his pilot. Number 9, Brereton's Baytown. This horse is going to be a big price. In his last 2 stake starts, he was over 100-1. And then number 10, Lordship, a last out maiden winner for trainer Chad Brown, and he won that maiden race in his career debut around 2 turns at Tampa Bay Downs, and Dylan Davis is his rider. Now it's time to go last to first in this Peter Pan, and number 7 is going to be the horse that I picked to finish 10th in here, and that's First Pitch. And I like the improvement. He's improved, and he's gotten more distance in all 3 races. He went from 6 furlongs to 7 furlongs to a mile and an eighth, with improved speed ratings in all 3 starts, including a last-out maiden win when he got out there and controlled the pace and won by more than 4 lengths. But the pace was slow, 49 and change, 114 and change. As a bullet workout for this looks like a tough spot, though. Going from a New York bred maiden special weight race right into the graded ranks. I think the race shape should be in his favor, but I just think the class is going to be too much for this race for him to handle. And the horse that I picked to finish 9th will go with number 9, Brereton's Baytown, and check out the odds of this horse in his last 2 races. He was 188-1 in the Grade 2 Rebel Stakes a couple starts back, and he had post 11. He was 8th, beaten 11 lengths in that 13-horse field. He was 117-1 in the Grade 1 Arkansas Derby last time, and he finished 5th, beaten 18 lengths. So in his last 2 stake starts, he was beaten a total of 29 lengths. It just looks like he's in too deep in here. The horse that I picked to finish 8th is number 10, and that is Lordship for Chad Brown. And I like the debut, but he did get pace help that day. So the pace was above par, and he was able to rally and win that race, and that wasn't a fast race either. He's going to have to run faster. He's got a good pedigree. Gun Runner is the sire. Giants Causeway, the dam sire. He's bred to be a decent one. Dylan Davis is going to ride. Dylan Davis is 5 for 11 with Chad Brown recently. Good connections, good jockey trainer team. Very nice pedigree here. This horse has a lot of upside. I just don't know if this is the day that he's going to be able to show his best effort, especially from that outside post first start against winners. First start in the stakes ranks. The horse that I picked to finish 7th, we'll go with the 2, Happily Delusional. And this one, his big downfall is going to be his lack of speed. because the paper race just doesn't have a lot of pace. And he was 63-1 in the Tessio Stakes last time, and he was 10th and last, 12 lengths back early, and he rallied mildly. He was fourth, beaten more than 4 lengths. Now, Surfside Moon was third that day, and he finished a length in front of this one, and Surfside Moon is in this race. And the winner there, Pay Billy is going to run in the Preakness Stakes next weekend. So Happily Delusional, he faced some decent horses. He had a bullet work last time, and he'll try to get involved late, but I just think the race flow is against him, and he could be in a little bit of trouble. The horse that I picked to finish sixth will go with the 6. That is Uncaged for trainer Todd Pletcher. This is a son of Curlin, and they paid $450,000 for him. Pioneer of the Nile is the dam sire. Good pedigree, good connections. Todd Pletcher, Kendrick Carmouche, 5 for 10 together. This one won his debut in the mud at Saratoga last summer. That was at 6 furlongs. He came off of a long layoff as the beaten favorite, fourth in a 5-horse field, beaten 9 lengths. That was a Gulfstream on March 2nd. And then last time, back in New York, he was in the mud, and he was able to win that race, adding blinkers for the first time. And that was a good effort from off the pace. Third start after a long layoff. He's stepping up in class. He's going to have to run faster. His fastest race so far was in his career debut. But he did improve in his second start this year, but he's going to have to jump up and run a career top to beat a field like this. And the thing that is a concern as well is both of his wins were in the mud. So his debut at 6 furlongs, he won in the mud, and then his last time at Aqueduct, he won in the mud, and then his lone below par effort, that was at Gulfstream on a fast track. There's a good chance that he's going to see a fast track in here. The horse that I picked to finish 5th, that's going to be number 3, Surfside Moon. And for Surfside Moon, this one's he's at least worth a look. I like his style, that he can at least stalk the pace, and I like his inner post, so he might be able to work out a decent enough trip. In the Withers Stakes, he was 33-1 against Captain Cook, who's the likely favorite in here, and he stalked. He finished second, and he was more than 6 lengths clear of the show. And then he came back in the Tessio Stakes, and the Withers was February 1st. The Tessio was April 19th, so he had a little bit of a layoff when he returned in the Tessio, and he was only 4-1 in the Tessio, and that was a decent effort. From the inside post, he was able to stalk, work out a good inside tactical trip, ended up finishing 3rd that day, a nice even effort. Second after a layoff with Junior Alvarado aboard. I can see him running faster. He did earn a better number in the Withers than he did in the Tessio. As I said, the Tessio was off a layoff. Second after a layoff now, I can see him moving forward in this spot. The horse that I picked to finish 4th will go with the 5, McAfee. Now, McAfee is a little bit interesting because in his 4 career starts, he improved his speed ratings all 4 times. But his best 2 efforts were against lesser company, against Maiden Special Weight Company when he looked good in his debut, and then Starter Allowance Company when he missed by a head second time out. Since then, the Grade 3 Gotham, he was 5th, beaten 9 lengths, but he was racing wide that day, not an awful effort. And then in the Grade 2 with Memorial, he was 5th in a 10-horse field, and that day he was beaten 8 lengths. So his 2 stake starts beaten more than 17 lengths. John Velasquez will ride for Rick Dutrow, adding blinkers. There's some things to like here. 3rd start after a layoff. I think maybe the blinkers will help him show a little more tactical speed, and we'll see how he ends up doing. So now we're up to the top 3, and the horse that I picked to finish 3rd is the 4, and that's Hill Road for Chad Brown. Now this one I like. I'm just not sure he's going to get the right pace set up for his late run. Now, he won his debut in Ireland on turf at 1 mile, and then second time out he was in a Group 1 at the Curragh in Ireland, and he was 7th in an 8-horse field, beaten 9 lengths. Then he came to the U.S. for the Grade 1 Breeders' Cup Juvenile, and he was 61-1 for the Breeders' Cup, and he rallied to finish 3rd. He rallied from 10th and last to finish 3rd there. Now, Citizen Bull and Gaming finished 1-2. The pace was below par in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, so he had the race shape against him, but he did rally to finish 3rd anyway. And then he moved to the Chad Brown barn. Brown added blinkers for his first start this year, the Tampa Bay Derby. And wouldn't you know it, his bad luck, he got a bad race shape again because Owen Almighty from the inside post in that Tampa Bay Derby was just out there controlling the pace. 48, 112, and 2. The low par fractions. Hill Road was rallying inside, and he finished 3rd. Now his stablemate Chancellor McPatrick was 2nd there. And then Owen Almighty did come back, and he ran a decent 5th in the Kentucky Derby. But prior to that, he was in the Bluegrass, and he disappointed. And then Chancellor McPatrick also came back in that Bluegrass and disappointed. Hill Road was supposed to run in the Wood Memorial, but he got sick and scratched. He's here instead. They're using this as a prep for the Belmont if he does run well. Fabian Pratt's his new rider. He will be finishing. It's just a question for him. Will there be enough pace help to set up his late charge? So now we're down to the top two. I'm going to go with number 8, Captain Cook, as my second choice in here. And he's 2 for 4 lifetime, and he's won twice at Aqueduct. In his career debut for Norm Cassie, he was 6th. And then he moved to the Rick Dutrow barn. His second career start in the slop at Aqueduct at 7 furlongs. He romped by 9 lengths, pressing the pace. And then he was in the Wither Stakes, and he was the favorite. That was a Kentucky Derby points race. And he stuck the pace that day, and he edged away, and he won by more than 2 lengths. Surfside Moon, as I mentioned, clearly second best. Then they decided to wait for the Wood Memorial, so he came off of a layoff from February 1st to April 5th, and he was the favorite in the Wood Memorial, and he was able to track the pace, but unfortunately for him, Rodriguez, for trainer Bob Baffert, from the inside post under Mike Smith, was able to get out there and control the pace, and he was going at a decent enough clip. The fractions weren't crawling, but they weren't super fast either. So Rodriguez was going 47-2, 111-1, just slightly below par. Captain Cook worked out a decent trip, but Rodriguez was not going to be stopping. He had no intention of giving up that lead that day, and he won nicely. Rodriguez got tired. Captain Cook got tired, excuse me. Rodriguez kept going, and Captain Cook weakened to finish 4th in that 10-horse field. Now, Grande was second there, and for the top two, they were both supposed to run in the Kentucky Derby, but both of them ended up having to scratch out of the Kentucky Derby. Rodriguez is supposed to be running in the Preakness Stakes. Grande is supposed to be targeting the Belmont Stakes. So we're just not sure how strong that Wood Memorial was, because the top 2 finishers were not able to come back and run in the Kentucky Derby. But for Captain Cook, he has tactical speed. Manny Franco should get him right up on the pace in here. And as I said, there's not a ton of pace in this event. My top choice is going to be the same horse that I picked on top in the Louisiana Derby, and that's the 1 Vassimo. I'm going to give him another chance in here. The favorites do have some things to answer. Hill Road, as I said, from a tactical standpoint, he could be against the race shape, could be against him. And then Captain Cook, he did weaken in that Wood Memorial and disappoint last time out. And maybe he'll be fitter this time, but he's going to be the favorite. Vassimo could end up being at least a fair price in here for trainer Todd Pletcher. And for this one, he won his debut over Rapture, and Rapture was more than 12 lengths clear of the rest, and Rapture would come back and win his next start. But Vassimo eventually was disqualified from that debut due to a medication violation, and then he came back in an optional claiming race second time out, and he stalked and he won that one. So I like that he showed good tactical speed in his first 2 starts, where he crossed the line first both times, and then they jumped onto the Kentucky Derby trail into a stakes race in the Grade 2 Risen Star. And in the Risen Star, at 1 1/8 he was chasing strong fractions. Now, Magnitude, that was one of the fastest prep races, along with the San Felipe. And Magnitude just romped that day. He got to the front, he just rolled, and he won by more than 9 lengths. Unfortunately for him, he was injured after that, and he was not able to run in the Kentucky Derby. But for Vassimo, he chased the pace. Strange race there for him. He was right up there chasing, and then he dropped back, and he looked finished. It looked like he might run last. And then he got a head of steam again late, and he was 4th, beaten 12 lengths. Now, Magnitude won by more than 9, so he wasn't far behind the 2nd and 3rd place finishers, and he was galloping out with the show finisher built there. So that was a decent effort, and then they added blinkers, and I thought, well, maybe because he lost focus in the Risen Star, the blinkers would help him. But the pace, again, was just too fast for him in the Louisiana Derby. He couldn't keep up. He ended up finishing 6th in a 10-horse field. So he's one that I think he's better than he's been showing on paper, and maybe the race shape here will help him because they were above par fractions in the Risen Star and the Louisiana Derby, and the pace here I think is going to be more moderate. From that inside post with Irad Ortiz Jr., I think that Vassimo should be right up on the pace from the inside. Maybe he goes to the front. Maybe he tracks the pace. Either way, I think he's going to be in the hunt here. I think that's what he wants to do, get up there, and hopefully he can run a better race this time from start to finish and maybe pull off the victory in here and get some redemption for me after I picked him in the Louisiana Derby and he finished up the track at 14-1. He won't be 14-1, but he won't be the favorite either. So Vassimo is going to be my top choice in this Peter Pan Stakes, a prep race for the Belmont. So don't forget to like, comment, and share these videos if you like them. Subscribe to my channel as well. It's free to subscribe. Keep checking my channel. I'm going to be having a lot of videos on the Preakness. I've been doing Preakness news videos. Didn't really have any news to report today for the Preakness, but we'll have some news later this week. We'll see if journalism is going to run in the Preakness. We'll be finding that out shortly. And we already know that Sovereignty, your Kentucky Derby winner, not running in the Preakness. We're going to still see that final complexion of the Preakness field really starting to take shape in the next couple of days. So that'll wrap up this video. Keep checking my channel each day, a new video on each day. I got some video shorts coming up, some quick picks at Santa Anita Park for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's Preakness news videos and much more. Keep checking my channel each day. This channel continues to grow, more than 135,000 views the last 28 days. So we're really picking up steam here, more than 600 subscribers in that time frame as well. Let's just keep the ball rolling. Let's get a winner in this Peter Pan Stakes, and let's hit the Preakness as well. And until I see you next time, good luck at the race.